Alright, UFC 111 review, aka GSP kicks the crap out of Matt Hardy, and everyone in the world enjoys it except for Britain. Matt Riddle versus Greg Soto opened up the night. Matt Riddle winning by DQ. Apparently was winning up until the illegal up kick thrown by Greg Soto, so kind of a deserved victory. Jared Hammond versus Rodney Wallace. Jared Hammond, we got to see this fight. I only got to see the first round because technical difficulties robbed me of the other two rounds, which was kind of stupid. Um, Jared Hammond needs to learn how to not get hit. He needs to learn some kind of striking defense because he has none. Other than that, he has skills, and he won by UD. Hosmer Palhares, Thomas Draw. Thomas Draw slipped. Basically, Palhares grabbed his leg and twisted for all he was worth, and probably broke his knee. Um, it was not exactly the most pretty thing, and Thomas Draw will probably be off of our TVs for a little bit. Ricardo Almeida, Matt Brown. Looks like the weight cut did not affect Ricardo Almeida. He rear nakeded Matt Brown pretty easily, it seems, from the play-by-play. Nate Diaz beat up on Rory Markham. Jim Miller won a decision against Mark Bocek. I'm being told by Byron that it was somewhat of a hometown decision. I have not seen the fight because I did not get the stream working until the start of the Fitch fight. So I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll have to go find it and see if that indeed is the case. John Fitch, Ben Saunders. John Fitch doing his thing, taking Saunders down, holding him there, controlling him, basically dominating him in, depending on your point of view, boring fashion. Um, he will probably get a title shot now, actually, because I was thinking about this, and there's, no one really in front of him in the line. Like, because Alves, it doesn't matter how minor this procedure he's going through, it's in the head region, and that means that there's going to be some time off involved. I can't really think of who else would be ahead of him. Paulo Tiago's kind of in the mix, but Fitch beat him. Koscheck is kind of in the mix, but he lost to Tiago and also lost to Alves. Um, he lost to Daly too, didn't he? I think he did. I guess Paul Daly's in the mix. Maybe have Daly fight Fitch. I don't know, really. Kurt Pellegrino versus Fabricio Camoys. Pellegrino was in trouble for a little bit with Camoys getting his back and trying to rear naked him. But from about the 2 minute point of the second round onwards is basically all Pellegrino. Pellegrino, basically dumped him off of him. Eventually got his back a couple times, actually. He also mounted him. And finally in the second round choked him out. Props to Camoys for, a solid effort, but it looked like his cardio kind of failed. And generally just the wrestling superiority of Kurt Pellegrino giving him a win here. And some toughness because he did not tap out to what was a reasonably applied choke. Then we had Shane Carwin, Frank Mir. Frank Mir has this problem where he doesn't seem to get himself out of danger. He doesn't circle away from getting clinched with Carwin. He seems to just think, I'm faster, I'm more technical, I'm the best ever, and this is not really a problem for me. Well, it is. He also has a hard time where he gets ground and pounded. He kind of just shuts down. Carwin kind of showed that. Carwin's very powerful, but still, he did it against Marcio Cruz way, way, way back. He did it against Brock Lesnar in their second fight. Not so much. It was more actually just getting suffocated. But it's a problem for Frank Mir. He's going to really have to look at, I don't know, just kind of figuring out how to fix that. GSP versus Dan Hardy. Everyone who was bugging me about not giving Dan Hardy a chance, watch this fight and tell me I was wrong. Tell me. Come on. Bring it. GSP took him down at will. He worked him on the ground. He almost subbed him in the first and fourth rounds. Hardy gets props for being ballsy and not tapping. Um, Ballsy but stupid in the end. Easy decision for GSP. I guess I'll do a little thing since the review on this was actually quite short. We'll look at, let's see, who should fight who next. GSP, if he stays at 170, will probably fight John Fitch. Like I said, I think he's probably the title contender at this point. Dan Hardy versus Paul Daly seems like a good fight, but I believe they train together and probably wouldn't fight each other. Not to mention the UFC doesn't like putting up two of their British poster boys against each other. Um, so maybe a fight with Paulo Tiago, because I get the feeling that Tiago will take something home with him in that fight. Because unlike GSP, who's a kind of nice guy, Paulo Tiago grabs a hold of something and has mean intentions with it. Shane Carwin, he'll be fighting Brock Lesnar. We already know that. Frank Mir. I really don't know who Mir fights because theoretically we got JDS fighting Cain Velasquez. Um, and I don't really know who else would be considered like at the top right now. I guess a rematch with Nog has some appeal because it would be nice to see what would happen if we get a Nog at 100%. That being said, Nog kind of just got thrashed by Cain Velasquez, but I guess I got to go with that. Kurt Pellegrino versus Fabricio Camoes. Who fights who next? Pellegrino, I think, probably fights Jim Miller. I would like to see that. Um, you get two guys from the East Coast fighting each other. You should have a pretty decent fight. As for Camoes, for some reason, I think he'd be an exciting fight with Matt Veach. So that would be my thoughts. John Fitch, title shot, like I said, probably. Ben Saunders. Hey, let's do that fight with Jake Ellenberger again. Nate Diaz will probably fight whoever the UFC thinks he can beat. Rory Markham will probably get cut. Mark Boshek. Let's see. Who do I want Mark Boshek to fight? No one really comes immediately to mind on that one, so no comment. Ricardo Almeida, someone with like better wrestling than Matt Brown, basically. Aside from that, don't really care. Matt Brown, I would like to see someone who will actually stand and bang with Matt Brown because that's the exciting thing. Watching him get taken down and tapped, it's not exciting. Like I understand that it's a way to win a fight, and I'm a big fan of that. But I don't know. I would like to see him get someone who will bang. Paul Harris, don't know really. Someone else he can take a limb home from, maybe. I don't know. How about Sakara? Because that whole fight with Talos Latis still has me feeling really not so great. We probably won't see Thomas Jarrell for a bit. He looks like he banged up his knee. Rodney Wallace, cut him. He's not useful. Jarrett Hammond, not really sure who he would fight, but perhaps someone new. Give him a test run. Matt Riddle, I don't care really. He's a fighter I just don't have any interest in seeing. He wins, so the UFC will keep him, but that's it. Greg Soto, that's pretty much it. This was a good card. It's just there really isn't a lot to say about it. As weird as that is. Anyways, that is my review.